Hey, Bri.
Hey.
We've been doing this almost a year.
Really?
After the football season starts, because we started, I think, the second week of football.
No shit.
Because that's when you said, let's go ahead and start this
Yeah, because
thing.
you listen, this wasn't obviously just, I'm hearing you talk about stuff. I'm like, let's do it for the football season. So I wasn't even, I thought maybe we might have did it in the first week, but.
No, we didn't. We missed a week.
Okay.
So let's go ahead back. So we're gearing back up for football season.
I'm excited.
I am too. I am very excited. I know it was a busy. I just want to know if you saw. Okay, we're going to get into sports in a second because I don't know if you watched any of it, but it was huge. It was fun. It was a big deal what happened this weekend in Atlanta with Tommy Fleetwood.
I'm curious. I know nothing about it, actually.
But we're going to get into sports in a minute. I wanted to ask you something. There's not a lot of old movies that hold up. I was just watching a documentary. I've been going through all the services and I'm streaming services, and I've been watching a lot of different stuff. And I came across a documentary I might have watched or might have started on Gene Wilder, remembering Gene Wilder.
Yeah,
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
I never realized that he actually was the one who started the idea and wrote Young Frankenstein.
Yeah, I've known.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because I've heard like Mel Brooks talk about it because I've seen and read Mel Brooks' autobiography.
And so many other people that were involved with Young Frankenstein. And I'm just like, Gene Wilder was a trip. He was crazy.
Yeah.
He was an actor for the stage, apparently. That's how he was. He was a stage actor. Mm-hmm. And then he kept trying and failing and trying and failing. And then Mel Brooks got involved with him with the producers and then a couple other people. Woody Allen, he's in a movie with Woody Allen. I don't remember. I'm going to go back and watch some of these movies just to see how they hold up. But I know Young Frankenstein holds up just for the crazy comedy aspect of it. And Blazing Saddles does too. Because to me, a lot of Mel Brooks movies hold up.
Yeah, and to me, Young Frankenstein is one of those, it's probably at the top for me. Mm-hmm. And it holds up the most. And Blazing Saddles is perfect in a lot of ways. I love how like in your face it was about racism. Mm-hmm. It was fucking great. And people say you can't do that today. You can. You can. Everyone's gonna be like pointing at it. But you know what? You can still do it. At least maybe not all of it. I should say not all of it, but you could still do a lot of it. Some of it is probably too taboo, but if the right people were in it.
I agree 100%. Blazing Saddles is timeless. So many pieces of it are unbelievable.
Oh, and do you know you know the story with Gene Wilder and how he got that part?
Oh my gosh, yes. He wasn't even there. He wasn't even a part of it.
Because the guy was the guy who, if you haven't seen
drunk.
it, and you should, yeah, the actor that they had was a drunk. He was supposed to be off the sauce. And he got kicked off in the first or second day, and it was a favor. And that is how he got Mel to sign on with directing Young Frankenstein, was the favor.
Yeah.
And that was like, that's just as a fan of them, and I didn't even know he was in the producers, but a fan of both Mel Brooks and Gene Wilder.
He was young. Pre my generation.
But he was young. It was 60s. Mm-hmm. It was in the 60s.
Yes.
It was probably like 65, 66. You weren't even fucking born.
Correct.
So, but I've not seen the producers. I might have seen. I kind of remember because Nathan Lane was one of the people who
and Matthew Broderick who redid it the second time.
Yeah. I think I might have, I forgot it already, but I think I might have seen their version of it, and it must have been a movie, not a play.
It was a movie. I think they might have done it on
Broadway. But they did it on Broadway too.
Yeah.
Yes, but
it was a movie first,
at least
I think.
I think they did it on Broadway. But, so anyway, Gene Wilder, yeah. And whole like Gilda Radner, that whole thing. And with him, and they wanted to do... Now I just want to talk about Gene Wilder.
I know.
The whole like Willy Wonka thing where he's like, it has to be a surprise.
Was insane.
And he was fucking great. He's the one that made that. He was a crazy motherfucker. And his relationship with Richard Pryor.
Yes.
That whole fucking weird. I didn't know. I thought just assumed they were really close, and like during the production of it, they were like, they were like oddly separate, and this was just an acting gig.
He did so many different things, and you never realize he did it his way. But he had so many different ways to do straight, but that wasn't part of the writing. He did it, and they said, oh, wow, that's better. You know, like he played different scenes different ways.
And he's very unique. He was
very, very
voice, unique.
He could
speech
sing.
pattern, fucking look.
Yeah.
The whole expressions, just like he had a whole bunch of shit, and he was able to continue to do it.
Which brings me to my point right now. Who is there today that's doing anything like him?
Oh, there's a lot of people, and I don't know if I could. You'd have to. And when I say there's a lot of super talented actors out there, so I now
Carell,
he did it. Yeah, Carell would be a good example. But there's like, I mean, listen, I think Will Ferrell could play it straight like he did in a weird way, which I've only seen clips of. The really like. The serious movie that he did with like I love her and I can't believe I'm forgetting her name. The Bridesmaids like writer Kristen Wiig.
Yeah,
Kristen Wiig.
She's great.
Yeah, and what was the actor that I was just saying? Kristen Wiig. Yeah, and Will Ferrell. They did a movie that is it's like a spoof, played completely serious the whole way through in the same vein as like a Lifetime movie.
Really?
Yeah,
I never even heard of it.
And it's
there's
something in the mirror.
Released? You saw it?
Oh, no, I've only seen clips of it. And I'm always like, I can't believe they did this. They played the whole thing is straight. The whole thing is like, and now is it a spoof? I mean, no, it is because it's not a really well-written kind of odd story. And he's like, you know, the main male guy in it. And she's she's the main female in this like very stereotypical type dramatic story that you'd see.
Like, how is Gene Wilder a star? He was in flops. He was in some crazy things with Mel Brooks. Some of the movies panned. Okay, that he did it for producers were terrible. According to the reviews and the ratings, and it didn't have success at the beginning. But I'll tell you what, he kept going. I mean, he did a movie apparently because I'm watching this and I was so into it. He did a movie apparently with Woody Allen about having a girlfriend who's a sheep, and it was a spoof on another movie, and I never heard of it or saw it.
Well, no, and neither did I, and I almost forgot that was in the thing that I watched.
So I'm gonna go back and watch some of these movies just for fun, just to see. But he's one of those actors that goes back in time and pulls from, like I said, they said it in there, silent movies, Charlie Chaplin, early stuff, and then going into trying to be the leading man, but as a goofball, Jerry Lewis type. That's what he was.
Yeah, he just didn't have the looks.
He didn't have the looks
for the. Yeah, if he was a better looking guy, he was an odd looking dude.
And I do want to go back now and see if I can find the Marty Feldman show, because Marty Feldman and Young Frankenstein, apparently he had a comedy hour, a comedy show, and I never saw it because it was pre my time. But I just want to see what it is. That's all I wanted to say. I've been watching so many weird shows. I've been going through everything in the Rolodex for all my streaming services just before the season of football. So now, I want to get into football, but I do want to say congratulations to Tommy Fleetwood. How many times did he lose? 2 weeks ago, he lost. He was 3 shots up. He had the first place lead. I don't know how many times they were talking about it. He came in second. I think it was 160 starts or even more that he came in second. He finished. He never won a PGA event, and he won this weekend in Atlanta. He won the big prize for the FedEx Cup. He took out everybody, and at the end, it was a little dramatic because he had a chance, a couple of holes. He was giving it back and then given it back. Good for him. He won. Now he can get that monkey off his back. And they even said he was such a nice guy about it and everything, but it was a great story watching. Tommy Fleetwood.
Tommy Fleetwood. Should I know this guy?
You should know him because he's been around forever.
Tommy Fleetwood. He won the grand.
He won the grand prize.
The grand prize.
But
how
not
much?
only
How
did he
much
win the
money
grand
is
prize,
that? And he gets to next year free. Is it free?
For
like
years.
Normally, he has to for years.
Well, first of all, because he won. He's able to keep his PGA Tour card and everything else. I think for a few years, but he won a fortune, and he's also going to obviously be on the Ryder Cup team for the Europeans.
So where is he from?
He's from England. Maybe we'll go by his house when we're in London. We'll see how he's doing.
Yeah, let's get weird. He's a good-looking guy. I like his beard. I had no.
I think he shaved his beard last week. He lost in such a dramatic fashion. He said, "I'm trying out here." He's been trying for 10 years. He's been playing for 10 years and never won. He always, at least 10 years. He's always come close, and when he's had the lead, he blew it. Every time he blew it. 2 weeks ago, he had the lead. Like, oh, he's going to finally win. He had a 4-stroke lead, and he lost. So it's like every time.
That's so great. I'm so
he
happy
won.
for him.
So his first tournament, not only did he win his first tournament, but he won the biggest check of the year over everybody. Congratulations to him. But now, like we say, we're going to football.
Football. Well, I
want to hear some things that you have to say about football coming up this season.
I mean, I haven't watched anything except for like.
You haven't done any homework.
I did a little bit of homework, and this is why I like AI, because I started to go through, and I think I went through 90% of the games, and just asked AI, like, hey, what's going on? Tell me what the analysts are saying about this game. Tell me the information, and it's not telling me who to vote for. Who to bet on. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's a whole different discussion.
That's a whole other thing.
AI voting for people is a whole different discussion.
Listen, I've had a drinker, okay? Anyway, but it's great to get the information, and I'm getting it. And now listen, I'm doing a lot of trusting, but this is some basic shit that's really flooded. You know, this should be really easy for the latest ChatGPT 5. You know that's like 2 or 3 weeks. I think people have been shitting on it, but with information like this, I'm relying on it. And I'm like, okay, all right. So I started. I'm already making my picks
for the season or
for the first week.
We got 2 weeks on that, and you don't
I
even know who the starters of the final thing.
I don't give a shit. I'm gonna unless something drastically changes with what it said.
Okay.
And I'm excited about it. But one thing I want to ask you about Tennessee, Cam Ward.
Yes. Number 1 pick.
How do you think? Yeah. What do you think now? Is he's getting thrown into this, and it's a new coach, right? First year coach too, head coach. How confident are you? Because they're a pretty decent underdog, and I'm like, I think John's going to go for them. If Cam and the coach, you're feeling good about that.
I feel good, except for they don't have really any stud receivers. They have Calvin Ridley, but their second receiver hasn't really popped up yet. I want to see how their offense moves.
How's their defense?
Okay.
Okay.
But they're in a division that they can step up. Houston just lost their running back for the first 4 to 6 weeks, Joe Mixon. He makes that offense work. They have their stud receiver back because he was injured last year, and you got to love the quarterback in Houston. So Jacksonville, new coach. Indy, they're going with the Giants quarterback from last year. I was blanking on his name for a second. Daniel Jones. So Daniel Jones is now the Colts starting quarterback because they benched Richardson, who, remember, we talked about it last year, was too tired to go back in the game and told the coach he doesn't want to go back in the game.
Oh, yeah. That's
and they gave him a chance in the preseasons. Now, Daniel Jones has taken that job. Do I think Richardson is going to step in after Daniel Jones does what he does, which is maybe a few games? Plus, he's an injury-prone guy. But if you look at that division, C.J. Stroud in Houston, Cam Ward in Tennessee, Daniel Jones on the Colts, and then you got Lawrence on the Jaguars. That's their division. None of those teams, I would bet on, to be honest with you, I would bet on C.J. Stroud because it's Houston, and they've had some success, and their coach is a really good coach. I like that guy. But Cam Ward might have the best chance because he hasn't had 4 different offenses in the pros like Trevor Lawrence had in Jacksonville. New coach, another new offense, new teammates, and Travis Hunter, which is a whole different animal. The Heisman Trophy winner who plays offense and defense, probably going to play wide receiver. I think they're talking about it now more than defense and put him in packages in defense, but we'll see what happens.
All right, I kind of followed what you said there. How about this?
That's pretty good. So I think Cam Ward's going to be pretty good.
Okay.
I think that they have a chance to be a 500 or 1 game above 500 team if their defense steps up, the corners play well, and they have a second wide receiver.
What about week 1 then? Because that's where the question is.
Well, I didn't go over the weeks
They're
yet.
an underdog by 7, and I don't know who the fuck they're playing. All right, next question.
Yes.
Lions? They're an underdog.
Yeah.
Week 1.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way I'm not betting with the Lions unless something drastic happens.
They lost offensive and defensive coordinators. Their identity is a little bit off right now. I don't know how they're going to play. I'm feeling out the Lions. Are they a 500 team or better? To me, yes. Are they in a beat-up going to beat you up, black and blue division? Absolutely. They're going to be fighting the Vikings with a new quarterback this year. They're going to be fighting Chicago with a new offensive coordinator who, by the way, was with Detroit last year. They took him in the division, and now he's their head coach.
What was the last time that you saw a team win the Super Bowl and not come back feared? So did they lose a lot of people, or was it just coaching?
They didn't win the Super Bowl. They won the division. The
Oh, yeah, that's right. They didn't win the fuck.
If they won the Super Bowl, I would still be drunk.
Yes. Yes.
They didn't win the Super Bowl.
I don't even remember who won the Super Bowl.
The Eagles.
Oh, that's
The Eagles beat the shit out of Kansas City. That's why people should be very, 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 very afraid of Kansas City.
Yeah. Oh, they were. Oh my God. I had it in my head that they won at some point recently.
I wish, because that would have been a lifelong dream of mine.
Man, I can't believe my brain went there.
No.
I'm having problems.
But Green Bay also is a dangerous team this year, too. So you have 4 good teams in that division. 3 of them made the playoffs last year. I am hoping for a playoff berth for Detroit. They're going to beat each other up. I hope they go split with Minnesota, split with Chicago, and split with Green Bay. At that point now, you're doing okay.
Well, that's all I got. And half of what I had was completely wrong, at least in my head. I'm like, Lions did so much better. Like I don't know what
they had a great
dreamt
team.
it.
They had a great team, and they had a great record.
But I'm forgetting the Eagles
and they had home
winning.
field, but the Eagles won. Ugh. Yes, that hurts. Okay, so you didn't even talk about your team,
the Jets. Well, you know what? I don't know. I know that preseason
if you liked Detroit last year, you're gonna like the defense of the Jets this year. Because it's their head coach. The defensive coach for the Lions is now the Jets head coach. And he was a Jet.
Aaron Glenn,
he was a Jet.
And I didn't even know he was a Jet.
He was a Jet defensive player. So he's a defensive coach. I think the Jets are interesting. They're very, very interesting. I can't get a read on Justin Fields. I hope he does well. I liked the kid when he was in the Steelers, and I hope he does well. Now, the other New York team, the Giants, who knows? Because Jackson Dart is lighting up all of the highlights.
Wait, who now?
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart. What the hell does he do?
He's a quarterback, and he's going to take Russell Wilson's job. So Russell Wilson, because he's lighting it up in the preseason, and Russell Wilson is there. I hope what they're saying is by the time the Giants are out of it, Jackson Dart will start at the end of the season. He shouldn't start at the beginning of the season because the Giants aren't that great. But they're in a division that who knows? That division is up in the air. Philly is going to be good, yes. But the rest of the teams, Washington, they took a couple of steps back because they didn't sign the wide receiver until this week. Their number 1 wide receiver, who really wasn't practicing. I think they lost their starting running back for at least half the season. And
who's the quarterback again? Young kid.
Josh Daniels.
Yeah. Was that
great?
Yeah. So and he's back.
Great. Yeah, he's back.
Okay.
He's back.
I remember him.
He's a stud. He's going to rush. He's going to throw. But they're in a division of a beat-you-up division. Mm-hmm. So,
I mean,
and Dallas, I can't stand. Oh, that's the other documentary that I know I have to watch. I watched the first 10 minutes of it and hated it because I do not like Jerry Jones. I do not like him. And it's talking about him. I've always been a gambler.
He bet $800 million,
I bet on everything because, I always bought these oil wells and I knew it was going to be a gusher. And I'm like, shut up, Jerry. You had money to buy an oil well? Shut up.
Yeah, I spent my last $800 million on the Dallas Cowboys. Because that's what he paid, didn't he?
And apparently,
or is it
no, not even that.
Oh,
no.
So was it? Did he pay $800 million for an oil thing? There was something about $800 million in him in the trailer.
He is. Oh, I don't know what the $800 million was. Okay. To be honest with you, I only saw the first 10 minutes of it and knew it was all about him and went, "Oh crap!" But I want to watch it because there's some interesting stories in there that
I'm sure.
I'm talking about for the players.
Players,
and for the team.
Aikman, like you said,
Aikman and Irvin, and a couple of the defensive guys that were outrageously wild, apparently, in the locker room. And then Dion was on that team, was one of my favorite players of all time. So I do want to watch it. I just can't stand him. But he has all, America's team and all the other franchises, I'm pretty sure in the globe, like I'm talking about in the entire world, he has the most valuable franchise.
I didn't think that the Cowboys were more valuable than some European.
The most valuable franchise in the world, apparently. And He hasn't won a damn playoff game or anything in 20 plus years, I don't think.
Wow.
I don't remember them winning anything since the 80s or the 90s.
have so many things wrong in my mind, one of which
Maybe the
that
90s.
like other teams were worth a lot more than the Cowboys. I knew they were valuable, like super valuable, but I would have never guessed worldwide the most valuable.
I think I remember
brand.
somewhere between $8 and $10 billion.
Wow.
So whatever they do. So he's a businessman, yes, and everything else, but still.
Why do you hate him?
I can't stand him.
Why? Now, I mean, there's a lot to not like. I've never liked him. He's scary looking. I know that's vain, but like he
I
looks
never
like
liked the
he'd be
Cowboys
like
as a
a
team.
monster in like or a ghost or something, like a weird.
I've just never liked the Cowboys as a team. And I have a pet peeve because my favorite player when I was growing up watching was Barry Sanders. And Barry Sanders was on the crappiest teams ever. He was on...
The Falcons, was he?
No, Barry
what
Sanders was
he
on the Lions.
Oh,
And Barry
was he?
Sanders, yes. He spent his whole career in the Lions. 10 years in the Lions. I think it was exactly 10 years in the Lions. 10,000-yard plus seasons. 1 year with over 2,000 yards and never got shit for it. Never did anything. He ran more yards than anybody else backwards before he ran forwards. So think about it. To get 1,000 yards, he probably ran 1,300 yards because he was stuffed behind that line of scrimmage so many times. So many times.
Wait. When
Barry
you're saying
Sanders.
Barry Sanders,
Yes.
I thought you were talking about fucking the other Sanders.
Oh, Dion. Yeah. Dion was on the Falcons. He was also on the Cowboys, and he was also on the 49ers.
Yeah.
The thing about Dion that made him amazing was he was just like Bo Jackson. He was just like these other guys. He'd play baseball, and then he'd fly in for a game to play football, especially when the playoffs were still going on. He would play baseball
He did, didn't he?
and then go to play football.
That
That's
is
why he was prime
insane.
time.
He really
He
was.
was an athlete and a half.
I forgot
He was
all about
unbelievable.
that because I never watched him play baseball.
I
Who did he
watched
play?
him-
Who did he play baseball for again?
I'm pretty sure he played for Atlanta. This way, because he was on Atlanta in Atlanta. I think he also played for Cleveland
when
as well.
the hell was that? I wonder if I ever had any baseball cards.
If you
want to
watch, I don't know, but if you want to watch an insane thing, I think the first time Deion Sanders came up to the plate in baseball, I want to say he was drafted either in the minors or the majors.
did he hit a home run?
Wait.
Go ahead.
First time he ever played, he was on the Yankees.
I
And
remember.
he hit the ball,
Oh God!
and he hit an inside the park home run because he was such a fast son of a bitch.
I'm putting glasses.
He hit an inside the park home run playing for the Yankees the first time he was ever up at bat. And he was an unbelievable player. And because Bo Jackson did the same thing.
no, but
he
Bo-
played two sports, but Bo had a hip injury that knocked him out. And Dion had to learn. Nobody threw on Dion's side. That's the thing. Dion was a cover corner that shut down that side. There was a lot of people that have done it since, but he was one of the first people that you didn't throw on his side at all.
Oh my God! I probably have and didn't even know it at the time. I can't wait to go through all my shit. Yeah, Deion Sanders. He was a rookie in '89. This is like I was still collecting baseball cards in 1989. Like
So
I
you
have
might.
shit. I probably have a lot of them. There, it's not worth shit. It's worth $4. I think that this. But yeah,
Dion was
Deion.
amazing.
I got a lot more
One of
respect
my favorite
for him
players.
now. And his and he's coaching now for who's he coaching? Still the college team, right? And his son is playing for
Yeah, he's coaching for the Colorado Buffaloes.
right, and his son is
playing for Cleveland. Had a
Cleveland.
terrible preseason game last week. Now they're wondering, are they going to cut him? They're going to keep him. Cleveland's keeping 4 quarterbacks. Nobody understands why. Next year they're probably going to draft another quarterback, and all these quarterbacks are going to go somewhere else because Joe Flacco is starting for Cleveland at the start of the season.
I tell
Kenny
you,
Pickett is on his 3rd team in 4 years. He's the backup. So the other 2 guys are 3rd round pick and 5th round pick. It's not going to matter right now. Cleveland is in a world of hurt.
and Baker Mayfield, he's with
Tampa Bay.
and they are going to the playoffs this year. He is due for a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, if not this year, next year. I don't know. I have no reason to know that, but I do. I dreamt it.
Baker, I dreamt it.
Just like I dreamt
dreams.
the Lions winning. Oh shit, maybe I'm just
That didn't
projecting
happen.
the Lions rather. You said they won the division.
Yeah.
That's what I'm remembering.
Okay, so Baker Mayfield took a few years getting beat up, a few teams, and then finally landed in Tampa Bay, where he actually belongs. And he's a tough son of a bitch and everything else. But his window is right now. When you say a few years, it's this year and next year. That's it. So if they can get, yes, because you got to look at divisions. You got everything. Carolina is going to be a dumpster fire.
But he's really good, and he's still fucking young.
It's it's the rest of the players. They have a really fast team on offense. They got a lot of stud wide receivers. But Atlanta is up and coming, and nobody knows what's going to happen with New Orleans.
That's your
Carolina's going to wait. No. I'm being honest with you. It's
okay,
just
all right.
The way they look.
I don't know.
They got younger players and they got younger studs right now because they got Penix at quarterback. They got Pitts from Florida at tight end, and they have a great running back. So if they can get it together, they're going to threaten them for the division. I'm not saying anything about Super Bowl. Atlanta, I don't think is anywhere close to a Super Bowl team. There's you got to get kind of magic in a bottle. It's got to go together. I mean, this year to me in the NFL is really up in the air.
I mean, magic in a bottle, I understand what you're talking about, but no matter what happens, it always boils down to two teams. So it's like you can have that all of a sudden there's this team that makes it there that you go, I can't believe they made it there, and then they win.
Right.
I wonder what the percent, I mean, maybe that's a lot more rare than I think it is.
But that's why they talk about windows closing. And that's why they say a lot of times the runner-up in the Super Bowl doesn't even make the playoffs next year. Do I expect that out of Kansas City? No. Do I expect that division to be one of the hardest divisions? Yes, because it's Kansas City. It's the Chargers who look like they're building a monster. Denver, who looks like they found their quarterback. Okay? And then besides them, you have the Raiders. Who knows what the Raiders are going to be? Because they're a whole new team.
I'm rooting for Geno. I'm rooting for Carroll.
And I'm rooting for the Chargers.
And you know what? How about this? Let's go to Vegas. I know.
I said this
you got
last
a lot of
year.
stuff going on. I know. Maybe you did. I don't. Well, whatever. But I haven't been there in so long.
Okay.
I'd love to go see a game.
Sure.
We'll go. We'll make it a trip. We have to start this pool with the football,
which is next week.
So it needs to be made official with Tommy, with Vaughn, and then Chirac if he's in. Message him.
I'm gonna set it all up.
Okay,
this week,
and then we can, because that's what I'm really kind of excited about.
Yes,
is to
do
go.
Our old
okay,
pool
I
that
have
we used
to pick
do
exactly.
when we were in our 20s.
I got to pick every
week with the spread.
Every week you're trying to get like, oh, maybe I'll have best week. Maybe I'll somehow magically get all of my picks. If so, I'm guaranteed my money back. And maybe some a little bit. I forget what best week was. So you go like that right there. It's like that adrenaline of like, oh, come on, maybe.
Because even if you're
let's go.
Even if you're shitting the bed during the season, if you happen to have a awesome 13-3, 14-2 week,
it's really like
at the end of the year, you're like, yes, I still won.
If you can go with one loss on a week that has most games going on, only a couple of buys, or hopefully none, you're almost guaranteed a tie.
Absolutely.
And you'll see sometimes a 14-win week when there's 17 games, they'll still win, and you go like, oh, son of a bitch, because there's plenty of years I didn't have 14 wins.
I don't think I ever won the weekly high. On the season. I won the pool a couple times, but I never won
once or twice.
Right. I've won twice.
Okay. I know I definitely won.
You
once.
won because when you won, you took me on my bachelor party with the winnings to Vegas with Tommy and the rest of them. So we can go do that again, I guess, if you win.
That would be fun. One of the last times I was there.
Yes.
All right. So
football's coming.
We're
going to make some predictions next week, and we're going to make our picks. We're going to make some predictions for the end of the year. Basically, we're going to try and do division winners, and then to see if you and I are right, who's first place division, second place. That's what we're going to pick. The first top two teams in each division, and then we're going to make our picks for the week and see what we bet on. And that'll all come next week. And that's when we start crying. All right, that's it.